3 minutes left. The person who last hugged you took something from you. Heaven just revealed their name. Archangel Michael says, "Open now." 3 minutes left. The person who last hugged you took something. Heaven revealed their name. Archangel Michael says, "Open now." Let each phrase fall upon your spirit as a weight of truth. These are not idle words. They are an alarm, a trumpet sounding in the night, a message sent in urgency and fire. Tonight, at the 11th hour, when the veil grows thin and the watchmen stir upon the walls of eternity, heaven issues its decree. Midnight approaches. Within the next 3 minutes, a breath, a flicker of candlelight, the beating of a fragile heart, a sacred revelation demands your attention. This is no ordinary moment. It is a summons, a holy timestamp that heaven has chosen to reach across the unseen and place its finger upon your life. The messenger is already here. Archangel Michael, bearer of the clarion cry, wielding the sword of blue flame, clothed in light that rends the shadows. His presence shakes the unseen atmosphere. His command pierces like thunder in the silence. He is not sent for the crowd. He is sent for you. Hear this clearly. Not every ear can hear. Not every soul will receive. This word has been dispatched like a sealed letter, with your name inscribed upon it in fire. You, the restless one. You, the one who has wrestled in the night with questions you cannot voice. You, whose spirit trembles even now as these words are spoken. This message is yours. Heaven instructs you. Be still. Silence the noise around you. Kneel in the hush of your room. Bow your heart in reverence, for only the obedient may carry the weight of this revelation. Something precious has been touched, not always an object you could hold, but something deeper, trust, promise, favor, or even the very season of destiny you were stepping into. Heaven has watched. Angels have recorded. What was hidden has now been unveiled, the name written upon the scroll of witness. You have 3 minutes. Do not delay. Archangel Michael commands with fire in his voice. Open now. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. Lift your spirit and hear the cry. Archangel Michael, we call upon you now. Sword of fire, voice of thunder, guardian of destiny, descend into this moment. Hear me, heaven. Let your fire fall. Let your truth shatter deception. Let your light expose what was hidden. Beloved, if you felt a shiver when you first heard the title, if your chest tightened, if a single question leapt within you, this is not coincidence. The Spirit has marked you. This message has pierced through the veil of countless distractions to land in your path, for you are chosen to hear what others will never discern. The time is short. The air is thick with urgency. The moment you are living in is sacred. Hear this. In the next 3 minutes, before the clock resets, before the candle's flame flickers low, before the next breath escapes your lips, heaven is speaking directly into your life. The ticking of the unseen clock is not just sound. It is prophecy. Every heartbeat is a hammer striking against eternity's door. Another door is opening. Behold the arrival of Michael, trumpet-like in presence, carrying the iron scent of battle, heavy with authority that silences the adversary. His voice is not gentle suggestion. It is a command, firm yet strangely tender, as though eternity itself bends near to whisper your name. Feel the weight of his presence. The room grows still, the atmosphere thickens. The unseen army shift into alignment. You are not alone. This word will not rest on the ears of the casual. It will not be received by the proud. It will only take root in the heart that bows low in humility and obedience. If your spirit trembles, then you are the one heaven has summoned. For this is not entertainment. This is not curiosity. This is a prophetic wake-up call, designed to strike at the very core of your being. Listen. Heaven has revealed the truth. The one who last embraced you, the one who wrapped arms around you in a gesture of intimacy, took something from you that was never theirs to hold. They left you with warmth on the outside, but on the inside, something sacred slipped from your grasp. Trust, peace, favor, perhaps even a fragment of destiny. It was stole in silence, hidden in tenderness, masked by closeness. And yet, heaven saw. Close your eyes for a moment. See it now, the name rising like ink across a scroll in your mind. Hear it whispered in the quiet corners of your soul. Perhaps it flashes as a memory, tied to that last embrace. Heaven is pulling back the veil, and what was hidden will be made known. By the sword of Michael and by the seal of heaven, what was concealed is now named. The authority of this revelation cannot be challenged, for it is not man who speaks. It is heaven's decree, delivered through the hand of fire. Prepare yourself for the ritual of reception. Breathe in deeply. Hold the breath to the count of 3. Exhale and whisper, I open now. In that act, the gates of perception are open. The scroll unfolds. The revelation is loosed into your spirit. Let the ache rise. Do not resist it. Let the tear fall, for sorrow opens the soil where truth can be planted. The one who touched you touched what was holy. But now heaven responds. You will not only receive the name, but you will also be guided in wisdom. You will be shown how to walk in discernment, not in wrath. Archangel Michael stands ready. His sword is drawn. His decree is spoken. Open now. Receive the name. Receive the way forward. Type Amen in the comments to seal this revelation. Blessing code 1414 is now surrounding you. The memory haunts you, does it not? The last hug, it seems so ordinary, so natural, so innocent. You can still feel the warmth of it, the weight of arms pressing against your back, the rhythm of breath that seemed to comfort you for a fleeting moment. Yet in that very closeness, in that tender space of trust, something shifted. When they pulled away, something inside you felt lighter, not in joy but in loss. You could not place it at first, but you sensed it. Something was missing. What was taken was not always tangible. No hand reached into your pocket. No object was stolen from your grasp. But heaven testifies that an exchange occurred in that embrace, an invisible transfer, a silent theft. It may have been a promise you carried, a piece of your peace, a confidence whispered in trust, or even a glimpse of your future that the adversary sought to cloud. That hug was more than contact. It was access. And through that access, something was drawn from you. Do you not remember the unease that followed? The way your mind replayed the moment, again and again, as though searching for what had slipped through. That subtle coldness afterward, that faint void in your spirit that no distraction could fill. That was the mark of the theft. And now heaven confirms it. The one who last held you close left you with emptiness disguised as affection. Understand this. Betrayal often comes clothed in tenderness. The serpent whispers, not with venom on its tongue, but with a voice that sounds like comfort. Lies are not always shouted. They are often whispered into your hair while arms hold you near. This is the mystery heaven unveils tonight. That hug was not what it seemed. It was a mask, a cover, a cloak for the taking. Even now, angels remind you of details you overlook. A misplaced item, a sudden illness in a relationship, a promise that dissolved without reason, an opportunity that slipped away right after that embrace. These are the breadcrumbs heaven lays before you, signs that point to the moment when the theft occurred. You are not imagining it. You are not paranoid. You are discerning. Heaven also reveals this. There were watchers. Invisible eyes observed the moment. Whispers traveled through unseen corridors. The one who hugged you carried more than affection. They carried intention. They positioned themselves close enough to gain what distance would have denied them. They knew of your failure, your rising, your opportunity, and they sought access under the guise of intimacy. This is why your spirit has wrestled. You feel torn between memory and intuition, the warmth of tenderness clashing with the sharp sting of violation. You wake in the night, replaying it again. You ask yourself questions you cannot answer. This unrest within you is not weakness, it is awakening. Heaven has stirred you so that you would not slumber in deception. Hear this warning. The revelation of the name is not the full plot. It is the key, but it is not the map. Heaven shows you just enough to awaken you, not enough to ruin you. Do not rush. Do not lash out. Hold the tension in your chest. This disruption is not punishment, but preparation. The wound you feel is holy ground. Your confusion is sacred. Your pain is valid. Do not let shame silence you, for heaven saw and heaven recorded. Tonight, the scroll is unsealed, and the name has been placed in your hearing. You will receive clarity. You will receive instruction. But first, you must acknowledge the ache. For pain is the doorway to discernment, and discernment is the weapon that will shield you in the days ahead. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this revelation. Blessing code 1777 is now active over your life. Beloved, if this word is stirring your spirit, then you already know how urgent this mission is. Every video, every prophetic release is a seed planted into souls across the earth. And just as sowing requires hands, so too does this mission require support. When you stand with us, you are not helping a channel. You are helping heaven pour oil into broken hearts. You are helping the word reach those bound in darkness. Scripture says, "He who sows bountifully will also reap bountifully." And tonight, that promise is alive for you. I invite you now, be the hand that sows. You can release a seed through super thanks, through joining our membership, or by offering directly through PayPal. The link is in the description. I hear this in my spirit. Your seed will break cycles and open gates of favor. This is not donation. It is prophetic action. Heaven watches. Heaven records. And heaven releases blessing upon the givers. Step into obedience now. So where the oil is flowing, your support keeps the fire burning. Your seed keeps the river of revelation moving. The harvest is waiting, and the field is ready. Do not delay. Hear this with clarity. What you experienced was not merely the mistake of a human hand, nor the flaw of a fragile heart. No, beloved, this was not ordinary conflict. It was spiritual strategy. The embrace that took something from you was not only the gesture of a person, it was the moment when unseen forces sought to interfere with your destiny. This is why the memory lingers, why the ache feels heavier than it should, why the impact of that single touch still echoes in your chest. Heaven reveals, it was not about the hug, it was about the access it gave. You must understand, chosen vessels are not targeted because they are weak, but because they are marked. The oil upon your life is visible in the spirit realm. Angels see it. The adversary sees it. Every time you rise into a new season, the spiritual realm stirs, both in favor and in opposition. And so the closer you draw to the doors of destiny, the more subtle the schemes against you become. The hug was not coincidence. It was a point of contact, one that heaven watched, one that the adversary hoped would become a snare. But listen closely. You are not abandoned in this battle. Archangel Michael himself bears witness. His sword gleams, his presence covers you, and heaven's host stands guard. What happened was catalogued, recorded, sealed in the archives of eternity. The one who touched you touched holy ground, and heaven has already moved to answer. This is why discernment is demanded of you now. You must see the difference between natural justice and spiritual warfare. If you reduce this to mere human betrayal, you will miss the deeper truth. The adversary does not simply seek to wound your heart. He seeks to delay your assignment, to cloud your clarity, to distract you with pain so that you drop the mantle you carry. The theft was not about affection. It was about momentum. It was about robbing you of the strength you would need to step into your next divine appointment. Do not despair. What was taken is not final. What slipped from your grasp has not vanished forever. Heaven's ledger records it, and heaven's court is already at work. Your name is known. Your calling is secure. This conflict is not evidence of your weakness, but of your worth. You have been entrusted with much, and that is why the fire has grown hotter. Let me give you signs by which you may discern a spiritual attack from ordinary conflict. Repeated setbacks that come in strange cycles. Opportunities delayed without reason. Lies multiplying about you without clear origin. A pattern of sudden coldness from those once warm. These are not natural waves. They are engineered storms. But storms are only allowed when heaven has determined that you are strong enough to withstand them. Now, the power lies not in what was done, but in how you respond. Your reaction will write the next chapter. If you rage in haste, you empower the scheme. But if you bow in silence, lift your prayer like incense, and wait upon heaven's timing, you align yourself with the greater strategy. Stillness is not weakness, it is warfare. Silence is not surrender, it is a shield. Take heart, heaven has not abandoned you. Every touch, every whisper, every hidden scheme has been noted by the angels of record. Nothing escapes the eyes of the Eternal. This is not destruction. It is distillation. You are being refined, purified, and strengthened. And when you emerge, you will be sharper, clearer, and more dangerous to the schemes of delay than ever before. This conflict is not the end of you. It is the proving ground for the next level of your calling. Stand firm. Hold steady. What the adversary meant for theft, heaven will use as training. Type "I will rise" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 2299 is now surrounding you. Beloved, the hour is not still. The hug that stole from you was not the final move, it was the opening of a plot. Heaven reveals that within the next 72 hours, the plan of the adversary seeks to advance. The thief does not rest after the first strike. They test the ground, then move to escalate. This is why you feel the pressure rising in your chest, why your dreams have been restless, why the days feel heavy with anticipation. The unseen realm is stirring, and the ripple is about to touch the visible. Hear me clearly. The plot will attempt to step forward in suddenness. It may appear as a confrontation you did not expect, a rumor whispered in places you cannot reach, a demand pressed into your life without warning, or the sudden closing of access that once stood open to you. It may arrive as public embarrassment, or as a quiet but sharp move in the background, a signature, a conversation, a decision that seeks to strip influence from your hands. The forms are many, but the source is one. Heaven does not tell you every detail, but heaven does tell you enough. Be watchful, for the motion is already underway. Consider the archetype of the adversary, the familiar face, the trusted insider, the one who smiled while drawing close. It is often the one within reach who becomes the hand that strikes. And yet, do not allow suspicion to consume you. Heaven has revealed the name. Heaven will show you the signs. You are not called to paranoia. You are called to discernment. Already, signs are being placed around you like hidden footprints. An unexpected message that carries strange weight. A thread of conversation suddenly deleted. An invitation that subtly diverts you from your course. An old grievance rising back to the surface. Watch for these clues, for they are signals of the advancing plot. Do not dismiss them as coincidence. Discern them as confirmation. But even as the adversary moves, heaven has already moved first. You have been given warning, not to terrify you, but to prepare you. The Father does not allow his children to stumble in darkness without lamp or staff. Michael himself has lifted his sword, and the host surrounds you. The warning is proof of protection. What then must you do? Guard yourself with wisdom. Fast if you are able, to sharpen your spirit and close the doors of distraction. Speak binding words aloud to silence the power of harmful speech. I bind every tongue that rises against me. I seal every whisper in the name of heaven. Place oil upon your doorposts or upon the space where you work, declaring it as holy ground. If you carry documents of weight, seal them securely. If there are words you have yet to speak, write them down, for written truth is a fortress against lies. And call upon one trusted witness, not the crowd, not the multitude, but one voice of wisdom who can walk with you in both prayer and counsel. For this is not a season to be alone. Even the strongest warrior stands firmer when shielded beside another. Fear may rise like a tide. Your chest may feel heavy. But when it does, call out aloud, "Michael, stand with me." Reveal the truth now. The atmosphere will shift. The unseen will tremble, for the adversary cannot withstand the sound of heaven's decree. Above all, resist the trap of reaction. Do not run to shout your pain upon social altars. Do not strike out in wrath before the evidence emerges. The adversary seeks to provoke you into rashness. But you are wiser than that. You are steadier than that. Timing is everything, and heaven has already marked the perfect moment for your vindication. Keep record. Write down the signs you see. Save what crosses your path. Your archive will become your defense, your testimony, your shield when the time comes. The adversary is moving, yes. But heaven moved first. And now you have notice. Walk in courage. Act with counsel. Stand firm in the assurance that the schemes of men cannot undo the decrees of heaven. Type "Heaven moves first" in the comments to seal this warning. Blessing code 3033 is now surrounding you. Hear this with urgency. You are not left defenseless. Heaven never exposes a scheme without also releasing the shield to withstand it. The warning has gone forth, but now comes the guidance. The Spirit says, "Be still," for heaven fights when you do not. The stillness required of you is not weakness, it is armor. It is the posture of one who knows the battle belongs to the Lord, and the angels are already in motion on your behalf. The first act of protection is silence. Do not feed the fire with words spoken too soon. Guard your tongue as you would guard your treasure. Silence is not surrender. Silence is strategy. When you hold your peace, heaven speaks louder. When you choose restraint, you cut the power supply of the adversary. Every unspoken word becomes a fortress around you. And when the enemy presses you to react, whisper the affirmation into your chest. My silence is my shield. My stillness is my weapon. The second act is to secure what is yours. Protect your boundaries, both physical and spiritual. Reset your passwords. Guard your possessions. Watch your private spaces. Not out of fear, but out of wisdom. The hug that took from you proved that closeness can be a doorway. So now heaven calls you to close the doors the enemy once used to enter. This is not running, this is fortifying. The third act is witness. Choose two. One of spirit, one of practicality. The spiritual guide who can pray with you, and a trusted voice who can hold you accountable in the natural. Isolation makes you vulnerable, but wise counsel makes you immovable. Heaven does not call lone soldiers. It calls warriors who stand in ranks. Even Michael himself commands hosts, not solitary flame. Now, receive the prayer that seals your protection. Michael, I invite your covering now. Guard my doors. Guard my name. Guard my path. Let no whisper prosper. Let no hand prevail. By the fire of heaven, surround me. Speak this aloud when fear rises, and you will feel the shift in atmosphere, the heaviness lifting, the ground beneath you steadying. There is also a time for withdrawal. The one who hugged you is not to be confronted in haste. Step back. Limit access. Not in hatred, but in holy recalibration. Do not hand them the keys twice. Withdraw, and let heaven reveal what cannot remain hidden. The truth will surface without your striving. For clarity, take up the practice of journaling. Write in detail the moment of that last hug, the setting, the words spoken, the emotions you felt before and after. Meditate on the moment in prayer, asking heaven to highlight when the taking occurred. The Spirit will draw your attention to subtle details you overlooked, and those details will become weapons of discernment. Feed not only your spirit, but your body, for the vessel must be steady to carry the weight of warfare. Drink water. Rest. Nourish yourself. Do not allow neglect to become another weapon against you. Heaven fights strongest through a vessel that is cared for. Anoint your space. Take oil into your hand and declare aloud as you touch the threshold of your door, the surface of your work, the pages of your journal. This is holy ground. Every plot that enters will wither. Every whisper that rises will fall. Call upon the angelic host to encamp around you. Heaven honors the declarations of the faithful. Do not fear. You are not alone in this midnight hour. Heaven's legal team is already active. Michael has drawn his sword, and preservation is in progress. The adversary may scheme, but his reach has been cut short. The storm may rise, but you will not be moved. Stay faithful. Stay still. Stay strategic. The protection of heaven is your fortress, and nothing formed against you shall prevail. Type "I am protected" in the comments to seal this covering. Blessing code 4144 is now released over your life. Beloved, hear this now. You are not a victim of this theft. You are a vessel being refined, a chosen one being elevated. What was taken from you was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal the weight of the mantle you carry. Do not let the memory of the hug, nor the ache of what was lost, trick you into believing you are weak. You are not weakened. You are awakened. Lift your head. Heaven says, what was taken is the signal. What is returned will be a promotion. Let these words become your daily anthem. Repeat them when you rise in the morning, and whisper them before you close your eyes at night. For every hand that tries to take, heaven releases a greater hand that restores. And what is restored is never equal. It is multiply. The wound you feel is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a transformation. First, name the wound without shame. Say aloud what was taken, confess the pain you feel, and acknowledge it before heaven's throne. Your honesty is not weakness. It is the key that unlocks heaven's intervention. Second, own your response. You cannot control the hug that stole from you, but you can control how you rise from it. And third, Declare your next step in faith, even if it feels small. For each step you take, no matter how small, becomes a declaration of defiance against the adversary. Picture this. Fire tempers bronze. Heat shapes the vessel, and wings are forged in the furnace of trial. You, beloved, are being prepared to rise higher than before. The theft is the flame, but the elevation is the outcome. Heaven is not merely returning what was stolen. Heaven is transforming you into someone the adversary can no longer reach the same way. You are being forged into strength. Take empowered action daily. Write a letter to your future self declaring what you will be, not what you have lost. Make one bold step forward, a boundary set, a conversation claimed, a prayer whispered. Even 5 minutes of prayer and faith is enough to shift your atmosphere. What matters is not the size of your step, but the intention behind it. Heaven magnifies the smallest seed into a great harvest. Be wise. Remain humble in public while rebuilding fiercely in private. The adversary thrives on spectacle, but heaven rewards the hidden labor. Your silence will become thunder when the time of unveiling comes. Let others underestimate you now, for they will be astonished later. Each morning, declare these truths aloud. I am sealed. I am seen. I will rise. Let these 3 affirmations anchor your identity. Sealed in heaven's covering. Seen by the Father who never slumbers, rising by the power that no adversary can halt. This is your true self, not broken, not diminished, but elevated through trial. Do not measure your progress by the absence of pain, but by the presence of clarity. Watch for signs of growth, peace restored in your spirit, doors opening that once were closed, favor returning where you were rejected, clarity of purpose that wipes away confusion. These are the fingerprints of heaven upon your life, evidence that empowerment has begun. See yourself standing now upon ashes, yet feeling your feet lift. You are rising, leaving behind the place of theft, leaving behind the echo of betrayal, stepping into the higher ground marked for you. The adversary tried to pull you down, but heaven is lifting you up. Type I will rise higher in the comments if you receive this empowerment. Blessing code 5151 is now active over your life. Beloved, lean close now, for heaven is ready to unveil the deeper mystery behind this taking. The hug that drew something from you was not permitted to destroy you. It was permitted to reveal you. The Spirit says, this taking was catalytic. It was the spark that accelerates the unveiling of your true calling. Do not misread your pain. What felt like loss is the announcement of a shift. What felt like theft is the beginning of unveiling. Understand this clearly. Trials are not random punishments. They are unlocking mechanisms. When something is taken, it forces you to place your trust not in man, not in comfort, but in God alone. Loss strips away distraction. It refines priorities. It clears space for heaven to plan new gifts. This is why the enemy's attempt to wound you will backfire. For the very act of touching what was sacred has triggered heaven's restoration plan. And hear this promise. Heaven will not return to you only what was stolen. Heaven will multiply. Time you thought was wasted will be restored. Relationships fractured will be mended with greater strength. Your reputation, smeared by whispers, will be lifted higher than before. What you lost in the secret will be shouted back in public favor. You will not only regain, you will ascend. Picture the doors that closed before you. See them swing open wider than you imagine. Hear the voice that was silenced by lies rise again with clarity, carrying further than ever. This is not recovery. This is expansion. Heaven has decreed that the adversary's touch cannot stop your destiny. It can only quicken it. Now, concerning the name, heaven reveals that when you lift the name of the one who took from you into prayer, you are not merely speaking words. You are activating heaven's courtroom. The moment you declare their name before God, the scales of justice begin to balance, the seals begin to break, and divine restitution is set into motion. This is why heaven showed you their identity, not for wrath, not for vengeance, but for redemption. When the name is spoken to heaven, the legal process begins. The thief is exposed before the throne, and heaven's response is release. But be wise. Do not expect all restoration in one breath. Some reversals happen suddenly, others unfold in seasons. Heaven works with precision, not haste. The adversary sought to rush you into fear, but heaven will walk you into restoration step by step, so that every layer of your blessing is secured. The Spirit also gives you a sign of confirmation. Watch for alignment in threes, a number that recurs in your day, a sudden ally who speaks without knowing your struggle, or a dream of light that calms your unrests. These signs are heaven's whisper. I am working. I am restoring. I am near. Lift your chin, beloved. Your name is written in heaven, and your destiny is recognized by the host. Nothing stole has erased you. Nothing whispered has diminished you. Heaven has leaned near and said, "You are mine, and your future is secure." Now, declare aloud what you are reclaiming. Speak it with fire. I reclaim my peace. I reclaim my favor. I reclaim my assignment. Let your voice carry, for your declaration is agreement with heaven's decree. And when you agree with heaven, no adversary can stand. This is not punishment. This is preparation. And you are stepping into restoration with increase. Type I reclaim IT all in the comments if this revelation has landed in your spirit. Blessing code 8181 is now active. Beloved, if this word has ignited your spirit, then hear me. You are not just a listener of prophecy. You are a carrier of it. When you support this mission, you are sowing into the field of souls, ensuring that voices across the world hear what heaven is declaring. Every super thanks, every membership, every seed sown through PayPal. These are not donations. They are prophetic acts of faith. The link is waiting in the description for those ready to move in obedience. The Spirit says, "He who sows into the work of the kingdom shall see rivers of favor flow back into their own life." Your giving is a torch in the night, a light that keeps revelation reaching the weary. And as you release, heaven releases. The same sword of Michael that covers this message will cover your household. Do not wait. Act now. Sow your seed into the soil of this ministry and watch how heaven multiplies it back into your life. Your support is not just help, It is partnership with the prophetic flow of God. Step forward, for the harvest is already waiting for those who obey. Beloved, you have received the warning, you have heard the revelation, and now heaven calls for your answer. This is not a word to merely hear. This is a word to act upon. The Spirit declares, heaven waits for your yes. This is your activation moment. Until you say yes, the scroll remains sealed. Until you agree, the anointing remains in waiting. But once you align, the gates swing open, and the next chapter of your destiny begins to unfold. Say it aloud, yes, Lord, I will rise. Do not whisper it in hesitation. Declare it as covenant, for this is more than words. It is an oath written in heaven's records. Every step forward begins with the surrender of yes. Heaven does not demand perfection. Heaven demands obedience. And your obedience tonight is the seed that will shift the future. Destiny is not an idea floating above you. Destiny is the breath of God waiting for your agreement. It is the assignment written upon your life before your first cry. And now, after theft and loss, heaven is saying, I restore, I empower, I activate. You are not stepping back into what you once were. You are stepping into who you were always meant to become. So what does activation require? First, it demands a declaration. Speak with boldness. I reclaim what was stolen. I will walk in the fullness of my calling. I am sealed by heaven, and my future cannot be delayed. Speak this not once but daily, morning and night, until your spirit believes it as much as your lips declare it. Every declaration is a weapon, every spoken word a sword in your hand. Second, activation requires movement. Faith without works is stillborn. Do not simply sit in revelation. Rise into action. Begin with one immediate step toward restoration. Write the letter you've delayed. Send the application you feared. Re-enter the assignment you abandoned. Even the smallest act, when aligned with faith, becomes a trumpet blast in the spirit realm. Third, invite accountability. Heaven does not release you into destiny to walk alone. Share your yes with two trusted voices, one who will cover you in prayer, one who will walk with you in practical steps. This does not diminish your strength, it multiplies it. Every destiny needs witnesses, for witnesses anchor you when storms try to sway your resolve. Heaven also releases a prophetic plan for you now. 7 days of small but sacred actions. Day 1. Document what was stolen. Day 2. Pray and anoint your home. Day 3. Speak with your mentor or spiritual guide. Day 4. Set one boundary that protects your peace. Day 5. Publish one truth, even in private, that reclaims your voice. Day 6. Rest intentionally, trusting heaven's word. Day 7. Rise publicly, even in a small way, stepping into visibility again. This 7-day rhythm is not ritual alone. It is activation in motion, a prophetic countdown to shift you from loss into momentum. Beloved, see yourself now with hands lifted, as though heaven itself is laying hands upon your calling. You are not being overlooked. You are not being bypassed. You are being chosen anew. The fire that once felt like affliction is now the fire of ordination. Your yes tonight is your anointing. Hear this final cry. Say yes, and heaven will do the rest. Type yes, Lord, in the comments if you are ready to activate your destiny. Blessing code 9191 is now unlocked over your life. Beloved, let us pull back the curtain for a moment. For while you wrestle with the memory of a hug and the ache of something lost, heaven has been conducting a silent exchange on your behalf. In the unseen chambers of eternity, there are archives, shells lined with scrolls, sealed records of every word spoken, every touch given, every moment lived. And in those archives, the theft that occurred against you has already been inscribed. Heaven does not overlook even the smallest detail. The hug was not missed. The loss was not ignored. It was recorded in fire. Now picture the exchange. What was stolen from you has not disappeared into nothingness. It has entered the scales of heaven. Angels stand on one side, adversaries on the other, and the balance is tested. Even as you slept, even as you wept, even as you questioned, the negotiation continued. Angels advocated for you, ancestors interceded for you. The host of heaven rearranged the accounts. The unseen courtroom has been busy on your behalf. This is why your nights have felt heavy. This is why your spirit has sensed a struggle you could not name. For while your body rested, your spirit was present in the chamber, bearing witness to the exchange. Heaven was weighing, measuring, recalibrating. What was stolen is not gone. It is being bartered back to you, prepared to return in multiplied form. See the imagery now, scales tipping in your favor, seals breaking open, light spilling forth like water from a vessel. What was lost to deception is being returned as revelation. What was taken in silence is being restored in sound. Heaven does not allow a transaction without restitution, and your restitution has already begun. Do you not feel it? Even in your weakness, there has been a strange strength rising. Even in your tears, there has been a quiet hope stirring. That is not random. That is the proof of the exchange. While you wept, heaven wrote. While you slept, heaven moved. While you questioned, heaven answered. This is the divine rhythm of restoration, unseen first, then revealed. The Spirit gives you a practice now to align with the exchange. For 7 nights, before you sleep, speak this declaration aloud. I receive back what was taken. I welcome the exchange of heaven. I open my hands to restoration. Do not underestimate the simplicity of these words. They are keys. Each time you speak them, you align with the negotiation already in progress, and you signal your willingness to receive. And receive you must, for dignity is part of the exchange. You are not to beg for scraps as though heaven were reluctant. You are royalty in the spirit. You are heir to a covenant sealed in blood and fire. You do not plead for restoration. You claim it as your rightful inheritance. Stand tall. Lift your hands. Whisper with authority, I receive. Beloved, know this, nothing is ever truly lost when heaven is your witness. What was taken is being multiplied. What was stolen in shadows is being returned in light. And when the moment comes, you will not simply hold what was yours. You will carry increase, favor upon favor, blessing upon blessing. Prepare your heart. Prepare your hands. The silent exchange is nearing completion, and the delivery is already on its way. Type "I received the exchange" in the comments if you welcome this truth. Blessing code 1010 is now being released over you. Hear me now, beloved. The moment has come for heaven to declare justice. The hug that stole from you, the embrace that carried betrayal, the whisper that shifted something from your life, it has not gone unnoticed, and it will not go unanswered. The Spirit declares, what was taken will return to its rightful place, and what was meant for you will be multiplied. This is not a suggestion. This is not wishful hope. This is a decree from the throne of God. Spiritual justice is not like earthly justice. Earthly courts may delay, men may falter, and evidence may be buried, but the courts of heaven are perfect, swift, and unshakable. Heaven operates by covenant, not convenience. And when heaven declares reversal, no power of darkness, no human hand, no hidden plot can stand against it. The scales are tipping even now, and you are about to see the tide of justice flow in your favor. Do you remember Joseph, who was betrayed by brothers and sold into slavery? What was meant to bury him became the very path to his elevation. Do you remember Job, who lost everything in one season, yet received double for all his trouble? The same God who reversed their losses is the God who stands over you tonight. You are not exempt from the patterns of restoration. You are heir to them. Justice will manifest in ways you can see. Relationships will be restored. Reputations will be rebuilt. Finances will return. Doors that closed will open again. Whispers that once slandered you will be silenced, and the very mouths that mocked you will have no choice but to testify of your vindication. Some reversals will come quietly, like whispers of peace in the night. Others will come loudly, like doors flung open with a crash. But they will come, for heaven has already decreed it. But hear me, do not demand vengeance. Do not thirst for the downfall of the one who wronged you. That is not your portion. Vengeance belongs to the Lord, and His justice is not merely about punishment. It is about correction, restoration, and the multiplication of blessing in your life. What you lost will not only return, it will expand. What was taken will not merely be replaced, it will be doubled, tripled, increased. You are called not to bitterness, but to gratitude. Gratitude accelerates reversal. When you thank God in advance, you declare your trust in His justice, and trust is the currency of heaven. Keep a record of small reversals as they unfold. The phone call you thought would never come. The apology you never expected. The opportunity that reopens without explanation. These are not coincidences. They are the fingerprints of divine justice upon your story. And now I speak a prophetic liturgy over you. Let reversal touch your finances. Abundance where there was lack. Let reversal touch your health. Strength where there was weakness. Let reversal touch your relationships. Peace where there was conflict. Let reversal touch your reputation. Honor where there was slander. Let reversal touch your purpose. Clarity where there was confusion. Let reversal touch your home, your work, your mind, your spirit, your dreams, and your days. In all 12 realms of your life, Let divine reversal manifest. Lift your hands now and believe this truth. The doors that were shut will now open with fanfare. Justice will sing on my behalf. I am not forgot you. I am restored. Type divine reversal in the comments if you receive this justice. Blessing code 1221 is now covering you. Beloved, hear the final word as heaven sealed this message. 3 minutes left. The person who last hugged you took something from you. Heaven has revealed their name and Archangel Michael has spoken. Open now. This was not coincidence. This was not chance. It was the trumpet of heaven sounding in your spirit, calling you into stillness, into strategy, and into restoration. By the authority of Michael's sword and the mercy of the Eternal, I now speak blessing over you. Be sealed in divine protection, be restored in full measure, and be sent forth with new authority. No whisper will prosper, no scheme will succeed, no theft will remain permanent. You are surrounded by fire, you are covered by angels, and you are lifted into a new season of favor. If you feel the weight of this word, speak this prayer aloud. Father, I open now. I receive what was taken. I welcome restoration. I walk forward under heaven's command. These words are not empty, they are covenant. They activate the reversal and align you with the decree of heaven. And now, repeat these affirmations with fire in your chest. I am sealed. I am seen. I will rise. Let them echo, not just in your mouth, but in your mind and in your movements. For the adversary tried to make you believe you were forgotten, but heaven says, you are chosen, you are anointed, you are sent. Beloved, do not linger in fear. Walk boldly into the hush of heaven's favor. For the name has been revealed, the scroll has been opened, and the way forward has been given. You are not broken. You are not diminished. You are advancing into the season marked for you since the beginning of time. Archangel Michael declares, open now. Receive what heaven brings. Then rise. Go in peace. Go in authority. Go in the blessing of heaven. Amen. Type Amen in the comments if you receive this final seal. Blessing code 7777 is now covering you. Beloved, before you go, let me share this final truth. The spreading of heaven's word is itself an act of warfare. Each video is a trumpet, each prophecy a seed, and your support ensures that these words reach the ones still wandering in darkness. If this message stirred you, then let your giving be part of your activation. Join us through Super Thanks, become a member, or sow directly through PayPal. A link waits in the description. The Spirit says, as you release your seed, I will release your harvest. This is not transaction. This is covenant. Your act of support is a prophetic step that keeps the oil flowing, the fire burning, and the river of revelation reaching souls across the earth. And just as you give, so shall heaven multiply back to you in ways you could never imagine. Beloved, do not delay. Sow into the soil of destiny. Support the mission of heaven, and watch as blessing overtakes your household. This is your chance not only to receive, but to partner with the move of God. Act now, and may rivers of favor be loosed upon you.